it's not going to work. Oh, really? Guess what? Michigan State will find an X factor coming off that bench tonight, and that guy will be the guy to get it done for Sparty.
Beeline all smiles right now. Will he be at the end? Who wins the game, Michigan or Michigan State?
I'm going with Michigan State. I think they know what they've got to get done and win.
Boy, it's really difficult to say Michigan State because they're down guys, but I think they're going to find a way to win in this one. And I do think Gary Harris and Nick Stauskas, that's the matchup that'll decide the game.
Two of the better players in the conference, two of the better players in the country as they go head-to-head. Michigan State going to scrap and try to find a way. Michigan going to try to come in to their hated opponent's house and stroll out of here with a victory. Michigan and Michigan State, both undefeated in Big Ten play. Never gotten this deep in the Big Ten with having undefeated teams in conference play square off before tonight. We're about to see it with Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale.
Get it done.
Reese, thank you. This is a big-time Big Ten matchup. A bitter rivalry with no love lost between the Wolverines and the Spartans. Welcome to the Infinity College basketball tip-off, and welcome to the sold-out and raucous Breslin Center as we get ready for Michigan and Michigan State tonight. Dick, this is going to be a terrific matchup. We're looking at two teams who are both undefeated in Big Ten play right now. The Spartans are 7-0 and the Wolverines are 6-0. So this is a battle for first place in the league, but it's also a game where Michigan State will again be without Adrian Payne, and as of the injury a couple of days ago, they'll also be without Brandon Dawson.
Well, that's a big loss. When you talk about Dawson, he's a physical player, a defensive stopper. Bottom line is they're going to have a superb game today out of Appling and Harris to be able to make up for the point differential. When you look at Payne and Dawson, they average 26 points, 16 rebounds. That's a lot. But the bottom line is Tom Izzo will have them playing with passion, pride, and I firmly believe we are going to have one heck of a maillock smash.
Let's talk about who is going to be on the court tonight. When you look at the one-on-one, you're looking at two guys who should battle for Big Ten Player of the Year.
Well, you talk about great players. Stauskas has been on fire. His last two games, he's been brilliant at 26 and 23. He's done a great job of not only shooting the jump shot, he's been able to attack the rim. He's been able to put the ball on the floor. He's a tremendous player, one of the premier players in the nation. And on the other side, you're talking about the former Mr. Indiana in basketball, Gary Harris. He's been electric, one of the leading scorers in the Big Ten. He's been on fire, making big shots. He's a guy that can shoot the three. He can get to the rim. He is talented. We got talent here today, my friend, and we are really excited.
Yes.
The zone's all fired up.
This is going to be fun. This has been the Infinity Tip-Off. Now let's take a look at how some coaches have fun with fundraising in the Infinity Coaches Charity Challenge. Welcome to Saturday Prime Time, presented by DirecTV. Tonight's game is a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. And what a matchup we've got for you tonight. Michigan, Michigan State, bitter rivals. The Izzone is rocking because of the accomplishments that Tom Izzo has built here in his 19 seasons as head coach at Michigan State. 6 Final Fours, 1 national championship, but some concerns tonight because of health problems. With more, here's Shannon Spade.
Well, Dan, it certainly is rocking down here. What an atmosphere. Unfortunately for Michigan State, 2 of their big guys are going to be on the bench for this game. Adrian Payne, Brandon Dawson. Now, Payne has a sprained foot. He was thinking, some people thought that he might play in this rivalry game, but I spoke with him yesterday. He told me he's just not ready to go. And the team trainer told me his return would be when he feels like he can come back, not dependent on who they play. As far as Dawson is concerned, he broke his hand when he punched a table out of frustration while watching film on Thursday. He had surgery. He will begin rehab in about 7 days. Kenny Kaminsky will start for Dawson here this evening. It's his first start of the season. Coach Izzo said his biggest task defensively is guarding Glenn Robinson III. Dan?
All right, Shannon, thank you. And that will be a big challenge, Kaminsky, to try to guard an athlete like Glenn Robinson III. As you check out the starting lineup for the Spartans, Kaminsky into Costello up front. Valentine, very versatile player. Gary Harris and Keith Appling, both of whom are having outstanding seasons for Michigan State. John Beilein has the Michigan program rolling all the way to the national championship game last year. And another solid season this year. They've won 8 in a row. They're without Mitch McGary, but they keep rolling along, getting a lot of production out of the 2 men in the middle, Jordan Morgan, who will start. John Horford will see off the bench. And Nick Stauskas better than 18 points per game and better than 23 a game, Dick, in his last 3.
And they've won 9 of their last 10 games. As you take a look right here, first time in Big Ten history, 2 teams with a 6-zip or better. Bottom line is their only loss in their last 10 games to the #1 team in America, Arizona, who they had on the ropes at Ann Arbor and let it get away from them.
And that was a look at our Sonic Showdown. Terry Weimer, Bo Borowski, Lamont Simpson, the officials, and we are underway here at the Breslin Center.
I think it's important early in the game, playing without Dawson and Payne, that they get an early lead, to get a little confidence and get this place really on fire.
Appling, their outstanding point guard. He's got a sore back. He's got a sore wrist, but he's in there right now. They are banged up. Harris, and it's out of bounds to Michigan. Last year, Michigan came in here, got blown out. Michigan won by 1 at the Breslin Center, but all those key players for the Wolverines who were freshmen a year ago are sophomores now, led by the likes of Stauskas and Levert. They've been through this already.
Absolutely. You know, last year they lost by 1 over in Ann Arbor, and it was a steal by Burke at the end of the game where he stripped Appling.
Michigan State wearing some throwback unis, Dick, back to the Magic Johnson era. And we get the matchup we were anticipating. Harris is guarding Stauskas.
Interesting matchup. Harris, a great athlete.
And Derek Walton Jr., who missed most of their game during the week against Iowa with the flu, but other than that, he's been playing much better lately, and he knocks down the 3.
Well, he's a Motor City guy, so he and Appling go back to the streets of Detroit. Played for his dad in high school, Walton. He's going to be a very good player.
Kaminsky, this is what he can do. He can really knock down shots, shooting better than 50% from beyond the arc on the season.
Made 5 threes against Minnesota, and he needed every one of them against a good Minnesota team. Man-to-man defense right now. I would go right at Kaminsky. Young, inexperienced, and you're a guy like Robinson. You got to take advantage of that matchup.
Here's Karis LeVert just inside the arc. Can't get a shot off. Now off to Stauskas. His handle's so much more of a factor than it was a year ago. And that was always a factor as he knocks down the 3. And what a good start for Michigan.
Tell you one thing, he's got that swag now, man. He's been on fire against Wisconsin and in Iowa the last 2 games. He had 49 points in those 2 games.
He is not lacking in confidence, and he is not one of the 25 midseason Wooden Award candidates, nor is Gary Harris, as we were discussing before the game, and you can certainly make a case for both of them.
Well, last year Oladipo wasn't either, and then he made the final list and finished #2 to Burke.
Nice feed inside. Costello from Valentine.
That's 2-man play. Valentine has great vision, excellent passer. His dad played here at Michigan State, coached 2 state titles. Martin Valentine. Why, I love the spirit of this venue. This venue is special.
It is one of the best in the country. Stauskas the pull-up, and he's knocked down his first 2 shots.
He feels it, man, and he looks over to mom and dad. I got a picture with them before the game. Proud mom and dad.
5 already for Stauskas. Valentine with a reverse that rolls off the rim.
Real good start for the Wolverines, based on the shooting of Stauskas. I'll tell you one thing about John Beilein's clubs. They'll have patience, they'll execute, they'll take good shots, and they'll defend. And you can say the same about the future Hall of Famer Tom Izzo.
And this rivalry is really back as Robinson hits a turnaround. For so many years, Michigan State, they just had their way with Michigan. But in the last few years, with John Beilein there, the Wolverines have actually won 4 of the last 6.
Tom Izzo's going to go small. He's going to go with 3 guards. Make a substitution. Doesn't like the matchup he sees.
Travis Trice getting ready to check in as Robinson is called for the foul.
I tell you, Stauskas, I loved him the first time I seen him. I remember calling you up after I had him against Iowa State and they lost. I said, this kid's a different player. He's added 16 pounds. He worked really hard. They called it Camp Sanderson with the trainer all summer. He and LeVert. He wants to be a player. He's got passion. Hey, there's Mom, Dad, the whole gang in the house. Our dad likes it. Look, he whispers in the ear, that's our son. That's our son.
From Mississauga, Ontario. Having a big time season. There you go. Gary Harris knocks it down. And Harris, a guy who battled an ankle injury earlier in the season. It seems just about everybody on Michigan State has had some sort of injury or illness at some point this season. Robinson, long two, too long. Spartans ball.
You know, people would agree with me, but if I were voting today for the coach of the year of the Big Ten, I'm going right there to the Spartan country. Why? Think about all the injuries he's had to battle. Costello's been out. You think about Harris has been out, and now Payne has been out for 4 games. Dawson, the injuries have been unbelievable.
Adrian Payne still out, a sprained foot right now. Trice was sick, had some sort of an illness, lost about 10, 12 pounds, but he's back in there. Costello missed 4 games with mononucleosis. Now, Brandon Dawson breaks his hand in frustration. Upset after a film session, and some of his teammates and some video clips saying to him, hey, here's what you got to do, here's what we need. Now he's out at least a month.
Tell you one thing, right there, you had an easy layup for Costello, missed an easy layup on a reverse drive. Got to make those.
Trice and Alex Gauna into the game. Gauna left LeVert, who missed the jumper. Here comes Harris. The Spartans will look to run whenever they can. And a foul on what looked like a 3-point attempt. It'll be Harris to the free throw line when we come back. A spirited start here in East Lansing.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And in part by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
On the drive, Burke to the basket. Exploded, and the Cards come up aces in a game for the Eagles.
What a season, though, it was for Michigan, getting all the way to the national championship game. High hopes this year, but they lost 4 of their first 10, most of them to very good competition, including games at Duke, at Iowa State. Then they lose Mitch McGary after the back surgery, but now they've won 8 in a row. They've adjusted to the loss. Horford and Morgan are playing well up front. Stauskas is playing out of this world right now, and Michigan is playing. They're a very, very dangerous team. Right?
Well, they're getting great play in the post position. They lost McGary, and obviously that's a major loss. But the bottom line is they had a veteran there in Morgan, who's finally healthy, and Horford, a talented player who battled injuries. The 2 of them are giving him 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 block shots. That's pretty good numbers out of your center position.
Let's check in with Shannon Spake.
Well, Dan, a little bit of a regrouping session there in the Michigan State huddle. Izzo just going over some scouting report stuff with his players. But the main message was, we just have to push the ball. We have to get some offense generated early in this game.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Gary Harris at the line for Michigan State. Tom Izzo, going to his bench again, has brought Russell Byrd into the game, and he's another guy who might guard Robinson. Without Dawson, they don't have a natural candidate. Byrd, a guy, he's had numerous foot injuries, as you well know, Dick, over the years. A guy who came to East Lansing with a reputation of really being a great shooter. It's been a struggle for him as Harris misses 2 of the 3, but Bird's going to get an opportunity here tonight.
Tell you one thing about Harris, talk about being efficient. Last 2 games, 47 points on 22 field goal attempts. That's incredible.
Yep. Zach Irvin, a freshman, number 21 into the game for Michigan. High school teammate of Gary Harris, who just stole the ball and finished.
There's Gary Harris on the defensive end. He's a complete guard. The reason I love their guards, they're a dynamic duo. Appling and Harris defend as well as play on the offensive side. They were both, by the way, Harris and Irvin. They were Mr. Basketball in Indiana.
Back-to-back years. Harris a year older than Irvin. This is Irvin here, 21 in blue, off to Horford, who's come in for Morgan. Stauskas a miss, kept alive with a Michigan State ball.
Well, they did a great job defensively there on Stauskas. They got him out of his rhythm and pushed him a little further back.
LeVert now on Appling.
LeVert very quick. Appling's had a terrific year. He's had 1 bad game. The last game against Indiana did not play well.
Gauna And the rebound down to Stauskas.
Guys off that bench are going to have to contribute. Guys like Ghana and Bird.
Stauskas doing a lot more ball handling and a lot more dishing this year. Not just a shooter and a scorer anymore.
What a terrific pass right there. The diagonal pass. Spotted an open man. Good vision.
He's averaging almost 4 assists per game now.
Absolutely playing terrific. Great sophomore year, proving too many times we rate kids too early. Give them time.
Gallo with an 18-footer.
Wide open, man. I could have made that. But let's give him some credit. I mean, wide open. Nobody defended him.
Michigan State will need some people to step up because of the injuries. Gowda trying to be that guy.
There's one of the premier sophomores in America. Great deflection, quickness, and the explosion in the jam. Out of Fishers, Indiana. Went at Hamilton Southeastern High School.
Matt Costello back into the game for the Spartans. Also into the game, Alvin Ellis III, a freshman out of Madison, Illinois. Again, Tom Izzo's going to have to improvise tonight.
I really believe that this club of Michigan State has a legit shot to win a national title if healthy. When you add guys like Payne and Dawson, they create angles for your perimeter players because people have to play them defensively.
And Tom Izzo feels the same way. He feels without a doubt preseason and even now if they can get healthy, this is one of the best teams he's ever had.
I really believe it. Look at Albrecht. He's been tough passing the ball.
Irvin, no. Albrecht runs it down. Stauskas got it.
Thank you, Albrecht. Albrecht loves it. Stauskas gets the basket, but Albrecht did a great job finding it.
Albrecht started because and played 35 minutes because Walton was ill against Iowa during the week. Had 7 points, 7 assists,
and
4 steals, and no turnovers.
Absolutely was terrific.
Costello with a jump hook and one.
Nice move by Costello coming across the lane. He's done a good job for them blocking shots this year. They're trying to get some point production out of him on the interior. He's going to get the ball in deep. He's going to come right over the left shoulder. There he is, protects the ball really well. They do a great job here teaching rebounding, and they certainly do a phenomenal job defending. And that's why you win on a consistent basis.
We were here for their only loss of the season, that stunner against North Carolina, one of the 3 big wins that Carolina's had on the season. Since that loss, Michigan State's defense has gotten better, their rebounding has gotten better, and you know that guy put them to work as soon as that Carolina game was over.
Well, you know, on the road, they've been dominant. 9-0, winning by double figures. In the 4 quality big-time opponents that played here, they're 3-1, and in 2 of them, there were overtime wins, and 1 by 5 over Indiana. Oh, they're slapping the floor, man. Oh, they're slapping the floor. Let's get down and play some D. Tom Izzo sends a message. You gotta love this, man. Gotta love this.
Stauskas hounded by Harris, retains possession.
Harris wants to put it on the deck. You don't want to give that open jump shot. They didn't give up the ball, stay in front of him. Look at Albrecht working like that. Great defense right there. They're really taking the challenge. They're taking that challenge defensively.
4 to shoot.
They did a tremendous job here as a team. What a great defensive effort. You can put that as a clinic, man. Put it in the bottom.
And then a foul at the other end. This place exploded after that 35 seconds of defense.
Oh, that was a brilliant defensive example for coaches. 5 guys rotating, helping, communicating. Coach Izzo even playing defense on the side, going wild. Oh, what a terrific effort.
And Michigan State pushing whenever they can. Ellis in transition got fouled, and he's at the line. This is the injured Brandon Dawson. He of the broken right hand. And look at him over on the bench, and look at how much the coach loves it.
Oh, wow. Look at Tom. D'Antonio Izzo. Sounds like an Italian construction company here up at Michigan State. What a job they did in football here. Rose Bowl champs. Terrific school, as is certainly Michigan. 2 great state universities.
How fun is it when this rivalry is good like it is now, huh?
It's like Carolina Duke right now on this floor here. The kind of spirit, enthusiasm.
Albrecht's calling out a play. Horford cupped his hand around his ear as if to say, I can't hear you.
Happening right up on him. So I think Robinson's got to assert himself a little more.
Albrecht with the drive, and he is fouled to take us to a media timeout. We got ourselves a good one, Dickie V.
Yeah, it should be special.
Michigan up by 1.
What is focus?
Welcome back to the Pac Breslin Center. Michigan 15, Michigan State 14. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, and Shannon Spade.
Well, Dan, all season for this Michigan State basketball team, the goal has been a Big Ten championship. So how is this for added motivation? They watched the football team do it just a month ago. They actually all bused to Indianapolis. This entire basketball team got on a bus and went to the Big Ten championship. They watched it as fans, and Coach Izzo actually looked at them at one point and said, hey, do you guys want to try to get out of here and beat the crowd? And the players said, absolutely not. They stayed till the very end. They stayed for the trophy presentation. Keith Appling told me it was really cool to watch those guys win it, and certainly gave them a little bit of a spark.
Well, there are a few schools, Shannon and Dick, that combine the excellence in both programs as Michigan State.
Absolutely, you know, two of the great combinations when you talk about certainly Izzo right now, along with D'Antonio. You know, this is a great football weekend as well, as Reese Davis talked about.
Pre-game, along with football coach Mark D'Antonio, Tom Izzo, two of the best.
They're talking about where they're going to go for some linguine, a little marinara. Oh, look at those paisans sitting together. Get the lasagna out, the meatballs.
Spike Albrecht to the line for Michigan for a couple of free throws. Who will ever forget the 17 points in the first half of the national championship game against Louisville? But he's more than just a curiosity. This guy's a very capable player, and he gives John Beilein some tremendously important minutes in the backcourt.
Well, he's a distributor, he's a facilitator, he's a guy that can make the open shot. I did that game on International when he played and hit those 4 threes. It was unbelievable. People criticize John Beilein for not bringing in Burke, but the bottom line is he couldn't do any better than what he did in that first half. 17 points.
Albrecht has now played this season 112 minutes in Big Ten play. He has yet to turn the ball over once.
That's phenomenal. For the season, he's 47, 7, and 8.
Yep.
That's like a 6-to-1 ratio. Watch a screen and roll. When Morgan Ray screens, he'll roll right to the basket.
Stauskas on the bench right now for Michigan. Tough shot for Robinson. Rebound to State.
Apple's going to look to score a little bit.
He is, and he does.
He was 0 for 0 up until that point. He's been a big-time scorer for them this year, as well as a defensive player. Showing again for kids out there. Patience, coming back 4 years. His stock is on the rise.
Albrecht for 3. Rattles out, and the rebound down to Costello, who did a nice job to hold off Morgan.
Yeah, he blocked out really well. They work on blockouts big time here.
Here's Valentine, can play so many different positions, a great rebounder for a guard, and a gifted passer as well.
He has great vision when the ball's in his hands. But he missed Costello, he was open.
Well, that worked out pretty well for him, though.
Yeah, well, you know, if that guy's going to shoot it, let him shoot it. I talked about it earlier. 47 points the last 2 games. Took only 22 shots. You know,
First lead of the night for the Spartans.
Spartans love it too, man. The Spartan fever in this house.
Irvin, too strong. Appling behind the back. And back to Valentine. So many different players on the Michigan State team can handle the ball, can pass the ball, can find the open man. Kaminsky frustrated with himself. That's why he's in the game, and he's a terrific shooter.
Well, just ask the people down in Minnesota when they knocked down 5 threes against them.
Stauskas waiting to check back in.
So I think the guy from Michigan that's going to really assert himself tonight is Robinson.
Agreed.
He's athletic, he's talented.
Harris on him right now.
Yeah, they got Harris playing. Look at that size differential. If one thing, Harris will not back down, I'll tell you that.
Nice shot fake by LeVert. Can't bank it in, and Costello with another rebound.
I tell you, Costello's really playing well. Very physical. What a pass. What a pass. Great vision. Down the open man. They're dancing now in the zone.
Staples has everything you need to launch your big idea, adding thousands of products online every day, from hard hats and goggles, to tools and cleaning products, to state-of-the-art computers, to coffee to keep you fueled. From the sign over the door, to the boxes to get it out the door. Yes, Staples has everything you need to launch your big idea. Except your big idea. So when you get an idea, we're ready with everything else. Staples, make more happen.
Dick, Michigan State going to be an explosive offensive team, almost 80 points per game this year, and they're on quite a run right now.
Well, there's Appling with the drive to the goal, and then we come back. They're going to reverse the ball. There's Harris with the long-range jump shot. He's a terrific three-point shooter. There's the great look by Valentine, finding Costello for the layup. Love having guys that are unselfish, willing to pass the ball and be about the team. And both these coaches preach that. That's why both guys are winners. John Beilein's won at every level he's been at, and he's been all over. Junior college, Division 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter. He'll win anywhere.
Canisius, Richmond, West Virginia, Lemoyne before all of that. Stauskas with a dish inside to Morgan. And it will stay here with Michigan. Gavin Schilling into the game now for Michigan State.
One good thing that's happening right now at Michigan State, Harris is making Stauskas give the ball up. He is playing him very tough. He's playing right up in his face, and he's making him have to pass the ball rather than beating shooting.
Michigan started the game 4 for 4. They're 2 for 11 since. Robinson the screen. Got the switch. Shot clock at 3. Morgan had it, knocked away. Michigan ball.
Dan Morgan's really been effective for them. He's shooting an incredible 22 for 26 in the Big Ten. That's unbelievable.
Yep. A lot of pick and roll, a lot of layups for the Michigan big guys, Morgan and Horford.
Irvin had a nice game. His last game went through a little struggle. The last game made 3 big threes for them. Maybe a good Iowa team and a really good Wisconsin team at Wisconsin.
Trying to pick up a win over a top 10 team for the 3rd game in a row, Michigan is.
Almost every game you play in the Big Ten's against a top 10 team.
LeVert for 3. And boy, do they need that shot to quiet the crowd and stem the tide a little bit.
Well, you're talking about a guy that really has been a plus for them. Last year, very, worried about his physical, his stamina. They're thinking about redshirting him, but he gave them some quality minutes.
Well, they lost Burke. They lost Hardaway. Now McGarry's injured. Nice look inside. And a good challenge there by Robinson to prevent the dunk as he was forced to foul.
When you get guys that can pass the rock the way Trice, Valentine, Appling, that becomes really contagious with everyone. Now watch this look. No look right off the bounce.
Well, Michigan State is 3rd in the country, averaging almost 18 assists per game.
They're also up there field goal percentage defensively. Only team shooting like 37% against them. Trademark in time. You asked Tom before the game. We had a moment, share and have a little laugh with him about Schilling. And here's his answer. He's playing.
He's playing everybody tonight. Schilling's a freshman out of Chicago, averages just about 7 minutes per game. Born in Germany, raised in France, came back to the States when he was about 7 or 8 years old. And even with the injuries they have, they still have Costello, Kaminsky, Gauna, Schilling. If nothing else, they've got bodies and fouls.
Well, I'll tell you this. Bottom line is, think about how much better they're going to be when they have the addition of Payne and Dawson. After these guys get some minutes and some experience.
Here's the matchup. Stauskas and Harris.
Harris really up for the challenge. Got a little help right there. Tough shot.
And Morgan's called for the foul.
Good call right there, no doubt about it. A little shove off. Morgan knows it too. Talk about a brilliant kid who already has his degree in engineering.
Second foul on Morgan. That's why you see Horford coming back into the game.
It's nice when you can substitute those two guys. Both quality players.
Right now, Robinson's on the bench. He has not been that big of a factor so far here tonight. So you're seeing some small lineups right now. You've really got basically 4 perimeter players and 1 big for both teams.
Coach is really making adjustments, trying to match each other. John Beilein's brought this Michigan program up big time to make this a real rivalry.
Schilling the screen. Trice turns the corner. The kick.
Oh, nice fake.
Yep. Harris got LeVert in the air. Step back jumper. Yes!
You can see why that guy was Mr. Basketball in Indiana. Oh, he's special. There's no doubt he's special. He was thinking about going to the NBA, decided to come back to school. What a plus for Michigan State and a plus for him.
Big Ten Freshman of the Year a year ago, might be Big Ten Player of the Year this year.
He's doing a great job defensively, too, on Stauskas. I mean, Stauskas going to have his work cut out to score tonight.
LeVert trying to shake Trice, and a foul on Travis Trice.
Notice
how they go to a timeout.
Notice how they stay between the basket and their guy. They really have such pride because they know if they can beat this, look at Gary Harris right here. I mean, we're watching him more offensively, but he's more than just an offensive player. Squares the body really well when he shoots the rock.
Over on ESPN2, it's an ACC tilt. Pitt at Maryland. Terrapins hanging in this thing early. Jake Layman's going to leave it for Nick Faust with the alley-oop. Pitt up a bit at half, but in the second half, here's James Robinson. That's the only three of the game for Pitt. They're trying to move to 6-1 in the ACC. Dan, Dick?
All right, and they got a big one on Monday night as part of the big Monday doubleheader. They will host Jabari Parker and Duke. Duke coming off a big win over Florida State today. And then Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, big Monday presented by Verizon. And don't forget that 1 week from tonight, 6:30 Eastern time, we will have Duke at Syracuse with about 36,000 people there up at the Carrier Dome. Here you'll see a couple of Wooden Award candidates on Monday. Jabari Parker in the first game and Marcus Smart in the second game. If you had a vote right now, is Doug McDermott the player of the year?
Absolutely. If I was voting today, my choice would be Doug McDermott. But I'm going to tell you this, Duke last 4 games, defending, rebounding, and really playing exceptionally well. And Pittsburgh will be tough at home.
LeVert with a corner three.
You got a wide open look there. I think the presence of Stauskas really gives him an opportunity to get open.
For LeVert, his second three of the game already. Michigan is 5 for 8 from three-point range. 15 of their 22 points have come on three.
They haven't gotten anything on the interior. The screen and roll's been taken away from him.
Trice will launch a three, and Hill hits.
That's a big one. He's been battling all kinds. Lost a lot of weight.
Weight he doesn't really have to lose. He's only about 160 pounds, but his strength and stamina both coming back.
Experienced player. Having a good spacing and such well-coached teams. They really have understanding of spacing, angles.
Irvin getting a lot of minutes. Robinson, who has not been able to find his way so far tonight, remains on the bench.
And there's Harris. I'm telling you, we know he's done a job defensively. Stauskas came out on fire, man, and he got right up in his face, and he hasn't got an open look since.
Irvin has to force it up. Spartans ball.
With his first 2 shots, Stauskas.
Here's Appling. Nice look. Bird. Harris with a rebound. And a couple of good looks for Michigan State that won't go down.
Well, one was created off the penetration of Appling.
And LeVert travels.
One thing I like about Appling, he's not looking to force shots. He's making sure the offense is a shot that's there within the offense. Went to Pershing High School, produced a great Steve Smith. Ralph Simpson years ago, you don't remember Ralph. He was a Michigan State superstar. Pershing out of Detroit, Michigan.
Walton, the freshman, guarding Appling, the senior. Here comes Harris.
He's going to get a screen right now, and they're going to switch.
Valentine back into the game for Michigan State.
Look for Valentine, not to score, but look to pass.
Another screen by Costello. Appling, nice look, and Bird with a layup.
That's created in practice, man. That's not just by accident. Screen, get help the other way, find the open man, the little dump down. Tremendous execution, 2-man play.
It was a great start for Michigan. It's been almost all state over the last 11 or 12 minutes of this game.
And you know what really picked it up for them? That defensive effort.
Yep.
When the 5 of them got down, touched the floor, that was a clip.
Great call. Nice running left-handed layup there by Horford.
Good play by Horford. You know, would have loved watching that sequence, Bob Knight. Defensively, he would have loved it.
Valentine the drive. Costello rejected by Horford. And a reach-in foul going against LeVert.
Nice play defensively by Horford, rotating over. Great basketball family, starting with his dad, Tito. Brother Al's a star. There's the look. There's Appling with the penetration. The dump down, wide open, and they get a layup. Defense rotates over to Appling, and there's the little dump down, and Bird gets the layup.
And Michigan State's already had 8 different players score in this game. Harris is in double figures. They've got 7 other players who have already scored.
You know, the way Michigan started, it looked like they were going to really take command. But Michigan State has executed, has been efficient offensively and defensively. I don't believe this club, looking at their personnel, can play much better than what we've watched in the last 10 minutes.
Costello comes up with a rebound of his own missed free throw and a fresh 35 for the Spartans.
I got to believe Tom Izzo's got to be really pleased with their effort here.
Whoa! And there's a rarity tonight. A turnover, just the second committed by Michigan State in this game. The first one was on their first possession of the game.
Well, he tries to be a little spectacular at times. Valentine, he's trying to make the big play. In the house tonight, by the way, it's Brad Ausmus, got a picture with him.
New manager of the Detroit Tigers.
Former Dartmouth graduate.
Yep, should do an outstanding job. Irvin the handoff to Stauskas. Now Bird's on him.
They switch off that handoff.
Stauskas bowling his way in, misses the short jumper, and a whistle and a foul going against Michigan to take us to a timeout. There's a lot on the line. 2 undefeated teams take a battle for first place here in East Lansing.
Absolutely. When you're talking about being undefeated, look at us right now. Look at the intensity. Look at the emotion. I mean, there's passion, baby, and pride. Look at Dawson.
What a great atmosphere. What a good game so far. Michigan State up 6 on Michigan with Shannon Spick, Dick Vitale. I'm Dan Schulman. Not looking only at this game, Dick TV taking us around the country with these views.
Well, you know, I talk about some views, things that I like to see change. Number one, I'd like to see us go right now to a 30-second shot clock. I think a 30-second shot clock would be great for the game. Speed up the game. They do it in women's basketball. Why not? Get more possessions. And number two, I would love to see the personal fouls. The quarter stayed the same, 94 by 50. But yet the bottom line is the players are more agile, physical. Let's keep the stars on the floor. Go to 6 fouls. Big question, will North Carolina make the NCAA tournament? Hey, 3 great wins we know about. Michigan State, certainly Louisville, and Kentucky. And that's a big plus. But the bottom line is they're 1-4 in the ACC. I believe if they go 500 in the ACC, with those 3 Goliath wins, they'll be in the dance. And I believe they will go 500. They're 1-4. They have a game tomorrow. They play Clemson. Clemson has never, ever won in Chapel Hill.
Clemson, I think 4-2 right now in the ACC, so they're off to a good start. As Costello makes them both. John Beilein has brought Max Bielfeldt, a 6'7" redshirt sophomore from Peoria, into the game. A little used player right now as he is operating as the man in the middle. Horford has 2 fouls. Morgan has 2 fouls. So Coach Beilein's going to try to squeeze a few minutes out of a guy that he doesn't put out there very often.
You know, I've always believed this, and I think Coach is a little bit scared sometimes. If you're good enough to get a scholarship at a Division I school, how much can you hurt a club in a minute or 2 of action? I think you've got to go out there. You can help your club, scrap, screen, and that's what they're helping out here. The screen, give them a little play on the glass, big body. There's the screen. He can certainly do that. Look at the body he has.
Walt driving on Bird. The kick to Irvin. Rattles home a 3.
He's capable of doing that.
And Michigan staying in this game, Dick, on the strength of 3-point shooting. 6 for 9 now.
Well, there are guys that can shoot the 3. We know about Stauskas, but a guy like Irvin certainly can shoot the 3. And he's going to be a really dynamite player in the future. He's a kid who will stay in school and will get better and better as he gets physically stronger.
Harris double team finds Appling. Here comes another ball screen from Costello. Look at that jump stop, but then Appling is stripped. Stauskas tries to lead Walton. Walton will lay it in and draw the foul.
That was a terrific play by Walton. Stauskas made a great look to get him the ball, and that's one of the few transition layups they've had. Michigan State's done a great job keeping Michigan away from transition, because they got some athletes, man. They can get out and run. They can run with that basketball.
Valentine Trice back into the game for Michigan State. So a nice little run here by the Wolverines. The 3 from the wing by Irvin, and now Walton looking for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Man, you think about how good these teams could be if they had all their cast members. The McGarrys, the Paynes, the Dawsons. I mean, those are not average players. They're not Dickie V's. I mean, those are real players, man.
Well, John Beilein is not expecting to get McGarry back after back surgery, but Tom Izzo is hoping to get both Payne and Dawson back. Probably Payne first, hopefully within a couple of weeks. Dawson with a broken hand, just suffered on Thursday. He's out at least a month, but they hope by March he's back in there. He's a guy who is he can defend, he can rebound. He's a very unique talent, great athlete. Valentine hangs, left it short. Costello had it, lost it, and now Michigan can take the lead.
You know, Valentine did everything but convert right there. Had himself an easy look. I like the way Holbrook takes charge. As a point guard, he communicates, takes charge. He even took charge at the end of the year like she was trying to get a date with Kate Upton. Imagine that on Twitter.
LeVert. And Valentine, again, a very good rebounding guard, down with the ball, leading the break. Finds Costello. And Bielfeldt secures the rebound for the Wolverines.
He's got that big size and that passing ability. Not nearly what a guy had here years and years ago in '79. I think his name was Irvin.
He turned out to be a pretty good player, huh?
Last time I was here, I sat next to him and Mike Tirico. I thought Magic would be in the house. I wanted to see him. Talk about his Dodgers.
Stauskas hot early, quiet since. Turnover, and Michigan State has it.
Been quiet because of the defensive effort of Harris. That will not show in the book. But I'm telling you, the coaches understand complete player. It's great to see guards that are complete. And Appling and Harris are complete.
And a timeout taken by Tom Izzo with 1:01 to go in the half and 15 on the shot clock. Hey, tomorrow you can catch an afternoon doubleheader of the NBA on ABC. It begins with the Spurs and the Heat. How much fun is that going to see? You just saw LeBron a few days ago in Miami. And then what can Carmelo do for an encore coming off that incredible 62-point performance last night as the Knicks host the Lakers?
Man, one thing, they better sign this guy, and they better keep him in New York City. It's one of Syracuse's favorites. Boy, they had a tough game today. Syracuse, Miami won for the last 3 minutes. They pulled away at the end of that game, but they're still unblemished.
Syracuse still undefeated. They're at Wake Wednesday. Then, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, they will host Duke up at the Carrier Dome 1 week from tonight. An early start, 6:30 Eastern Time. They have sold 36,000 tickets for the game. They would have sold more, but they stopped selling them because you just can only go so far back in the Carrier Dome before you can't see the court anymore.
You know, you saw LeBron there. He was at the game the other night along with Kobe and Dwayne Wade and Shane Battier. And the one thing that I really observed, and my wife did too, LeBron is a kid. He really loves sports. He loves being in the arena. He really eats and drinks it. I would give anything. I wish my boss would give me the opportunity one time to do a game, Durant and LeBron. Can you work that out?
I will try.
Come on,
I will try.
I would love that.
I want you to come do a baseball game with me.
Baseball?
Would you do a baseball game with me?
I'd sit next to you.
Your Rays are going to be pretty good.
They are going to be good.
Harris, no. Schilling, yes.
Look at Schilling giving him some minutes. And I'm not talking Kurt Schilling either. I'm talking about Schilling right here, big wide body.
Harris not letting Stauskas touch the ball.
You know, Danny, what's so great to see, so much intensity, passion, kids playing for the name in the front of that jersey, playing with a lot of heart. You can feel it. I feel it right here, electricity coming through. It may be -5 outside now. It's 100 in here.
Schilling comes up with a block and a nice look ahead to Harris. Challenging LeVert. He'll lay it in.
He's a big-time player. That's a PTB, man. He's a 3S man. Super, scintillating, sensational. I love Gary Harris.
Irvin. Stauskas tip no. Bielfeldt taken away, and the first half comes to a close with Gary Harris and the Spartans, who trailed by 8 early, taking a 6-point lead into the break.
Yeah, Gary certainly has been the star of stars, defensively and offensively. He has been absolutely brilliant. He will be right up there, man, with a year in the Big Ten.
Shannon Spake is with Michigan coach John Beilein.
Coach, you guys got off to such a fast start. What's happened as this game has progressed?
Well, their defense really got better, and we got a little bit antsy in there. When their defense got really good, all of a sudden we stopped doing some executing. Their defense really was terrific. Our kids need to play through that. They started to play through it, but it was a bad segment there.
Yeah, their defense is certainly limited what Stauskas is able to do. How do you get him some space in the second half?
But take Gary Harris. If he doesn't come out in the second half, it makes it a lot easier.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. An exciting, intense first half of basketball here at the Breslin Center. Coming up, Syracuse, as we mentioned, they stay perfect. The Cowboys escape with a win as well. Reese, Digger, Jay deliver the Mazda halftime report next. Welcome back to Saturday Prime Time, presented by DirecTV.
They're situated in the same state, both with blue-collar attitudes, but they come from different places, each with their own tradition to uphold, their own legacy to enhance, and with enough burning passion from both places to thaw the winter chill. With magic that lights up the nights, the terror of masked menaces on a mission, and the sweet music of a true rivalry that fills the air. The state is under ice, but the heat will be on when Michigan State meets Michigan tonight.
And the heat has been on inside the Breslin Center tonight with an exciting, intense first half, a 36-30 lead for Michigan State. As we take a look now at our first half stats, brought to you by Mazda. Michigan State shooting 52%. Michigan staying in the game on the strength of their threes. As we bring you back inside the Breslin Center, Dan Shulman and Nick Vitale. Tom Izzo's going to be thrilled, with Gary Harris's play. He was phenomenal. But everybody he put in there contributed something positive for the Spartans in the first half.
Well, I think he's got to be also pleased. The team defensively really played at great rate the first half. Also executing on the offensive end, only had 3 turnovers. The only thing that's really keeping Michigan, as you said, really right there, they made 6 threes versus only 2 for Michigan State.
Let's check in now with Shannon.
Well, Dan, when you hear players coming out of the locker room say, let's play like it's 0-0, it's usually the team that's down, but that was what the Michigan State team was saying as they walked out of that locker room. They're ready for a fight. Coach Izzo told me he felt like they did their job. They limited the turnovers, they limited the fouls, but Gary Harris, Keith Appling, he mentioned before the game he was worried about how worn down they were, and they played almost the entire first half, but he said, I just don't have anyone else to put in there, so they'll be out there pretty much a second.
All right, Shannon, thank you. We'll keep an eye on that as Robinson hits LeVert, who misses the 3. Morgan keeps it alive, and it's out of bounds to Michigan. Terry Lima, the official ruling it went off Keith Appling. Glenn Robinson is a guy, he had some foul trouble. He had 2 fouls in the first half as well, only played 9 minutes. Michigan needs more from him.
Absolutely, he's got to rebound a little bit more. He played 9 minutes, had 1 rebound, and he was 1 for 4. He's too talented, he has too much ability, and he has really picked up his game in Big Ten action. They got to get him involved.
Stauskas had 8 points for Michigan in the first 6:40. Did not score in the last 13:20. Give the credit for that largely to Gary Harris.
Yeah, Gary Harris, most of the team rotating over, giving a lot of help.
Robinson just having to create, and he does.
See, that's what they need, him to really get involved offensively. He's a very multi-skilled player.
Michigan was led by as many as 8 early in the game, trailed by 6 at the half, now back within 4.
They only turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. Both clubs done a good job really getting into their offensive sets. Robinson, if the name is familiar to you, yes, he is the son of the big dog who was a superstar at Purdue.
National Player of the Year, his dad, Glenn Robinson III, averaging almost 14 points per game. It could be a real matchup problem when he plays the 4 spot.
He can stretch defenses, too, with the ability to shoot the 3. Played really well last year for them in their run. There were 31 games, John Beilein's kids.
You know, a guy we should have mentioned for Michigan State, and Reese did during halftime. Nice feed inside. Kaminsky, tapped up by Costello, and it is Costello. Reese mentioned him, 7 points, 6 rebounds in the first half for Costello.
Yeah, that's not Abbott and Costello. Luke Costello. This guy's physical and tough.
Nice look.
Before your time.
Walton into Morgan, and suddenly, Dick, it's a 2-point game.
Now Morgan around the basket. He and Orford all year now getting a chance. Have combined for 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 block shots, sharing the center position.
First points of the night tonight for Morgan. Harris answers with a 3.
He can quiet you down. He's got the range of the shooter. He can get to the rim off the bounce. There you are, touching the floor. They loved it. I wonder where they got that idea.
That looks familiar.
It does look familiar.
When they did that in the first half, they got a shot clock violation, an incredible 35-second stretch of defense, and now they get a turnover. Valentine, Appling, Michigan ball.
I love the passing ability of Valentine. That size. Looks like a little magic in his days coming down to Kelso with those no-look passes.
Stauskas got it.
Got an open look. He's automatic if he gets an open look. Right in front of his mom and dad, he drilled that.
His third three, he's now got 11.
It shows you what hard work can do. He and LeVert all summer really busted their gut to become players. Appling, he studied film. He was evaluating all year Chris Paul, Tony Parker, watching them make decisions.
He really has gone from a scorer when he came in to more of a prototypical point guard. Has matured and developed. And a foul is the call. Boy, the two officials were looking at each other. Bo Borowski signals a foul. I think Terry Weimer was going to call it a travel, but it's a foul, and it's the third on Morgan.
That was big. They'll go to Horford right now. They rotate. They got two big bodies to share in there. They got the bump before the walk.
So Morgan out with 3. Horford back in.
Both guys, Morgan and Horford, have so many injuries throughout their career. Finally healthy and really contributing. See, Appling thinking pass. Going to be that prototype as you said, point guard. You know, Alamatine Cleaves came over and said hello to us at halftime.
Here's Harris. Nice move and a foul.
He attacks the rim off that balance. He can really get to the basket. We got Desmond Howard in the house, Mr. Heisman. We got Cleaves.
You talk about a point guard and a leader and a winner. He was all of those.
Yeah, he really was. A great college player. He's having those peanuts, huh, man? Well, get me some, the team. Come on, I love peanuts.
Gary Harris trying to add to his totals.
Only thing he did wrong in the first half, he missed 2 free throws, had 3 at the free throw line, he went 1 for 3. Now in baseball, you go 1 for 3, you're in the Hall of Fame.
16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals already for Harris.
He's been complete. And defensively, he hasn't backed down, saving himself for offense. He's playing defense on Stauskas.
Robinson can't get by Valentine.
Valentine did a great job taking the baseline away. Beat him to the baseline. The baseline gives you another player. It's almost like a 6th man. Helps you.
He's a guard, but he's playing the 4 spot right now, giving up some size to Robinson. LeVert, little hesitation, hangs and hits.
Nice drive. He's an attacker. He played really well in that loss against Duke. We're down there for that game.
And here's Appling calling a play out again as he advances into the front court.
You know, Appling early in his career would force shots, take shots that weren't really there. He has really become a complete point guard.
Trice pulls it back out. Stauskas on him. 15 to shoot.
Trying to get a screen for him. He can shoot the ball.
It's Gauna. Valentine. Appling. All the way.
Oh, you kidding me? Trying to match that in a game of horse. Are you serious? What a terrific move with the left hand.
At the other end, the 3 won't go for Robinson.
And it's Harris with the rebound. Oh, he's going to go right to the goal. He's going right to the goal. You can see that opening, that seam. He just changed direction, and he exploded right to the goal. Like he did down at St. Cecilia. You don't know St. Cecilia. In Detroit, it's where all the kids play on Saturdays. I know he played down there. There's that left hand layup up on the glass. Oh, look at that drive. Look at the left hand.
Tonight's game is a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. And this is certainly one of these games. Michigan State, Spartans leading by 4. You know, Dick, one of the most remarkable things about the tenure of Tom Izzo, every player who's been here for 4 years has gone to a Final Four. They've never gone 4 years without an appearance in the Final Four. For that streak to continue, they'll have to go this year. Appling and Payne are seniors, and certainly if Michigan State is relatively healthy, they've got an outstanding shot to be in the Final Four at the end of the season.
Well, you know, the last 15 years, no one's been able to duplicate that. 6 journeys to the Final Four has absolutely been amazing. On the other side, you look at John Beilein. He has taken 4 different schools to the NCAA tournament. There's only one coach that's taken 5. Think about it, people. One coach that's taken 5. I will tell you this. He coaches in the Big 12, and his name is not Self.
Kruger.
You're pretty good.
Hey.
You're pretty good. I know you know your stuff. Yeah.
Appling misses the first. Let's check it again with Shannon.
So it was a very active Michigan bench right there, guys. Before Coach Beilein came over, Jordan Morgan addressed the team. He said, hey, guys, we have them back on their heels. This is our game. We have to take it. As far as Beilein, he addressed defense. He said, we have to be committed, specifically getting through those screens.
Fighting over those screens is so tough. I tell you, Shannon, you got to communicate. A lot of kids do not communicate. There's an art to that, man. You got to help one another out.
Stauskas knocks down another one.
He'll help you. He'll help you. Tell me there's no place for him in the NBA. You kidding? There's always a place for a shooter.
Valentine with a nice, strong offensive rebound. Appling with a baseline drive. Nice
look.
look.
What a pass. What a look.
And Gowda finishes it up.
Gowda giving him some good size, strength inside, but it was the look of Appling. I mean, I love the way the Michigan State kids share the ball. You said it earlier. They're like, what, third in the nation in assists?
About 18 assists per game. 62% of their baskets come with an assist.
Take a look at the point guard penetration. Penetration, look at the vision. Head up at all times for you young kids. He bounces the ball. He's not looking at the floor. He's thinking of a teammate. And they know where they are. There's the tip, the good second effort by Gowda.
You know, Dick, you look at this league and how tough it is. And everywhere you turn, even though like Wisconsin, Ohio State have been struggling recently, they're obviously great programs. You can go to Purdue and lose. You can go to Indiana and lose. You can certainly go to Minnesota and lose. I mean, this league, I think most people would agree, has been the best league in college basketball this year.
Well, certainly the VBDI has rated it that. My guy, Cal Ball, Dome Index. He was said it's wrong with Ohio State simply. It's the Big Ten. It's the Big Ten.
And here is a Michigan State foul. And I think it is Schilling waiting for the call. I think Schilling cleared out the defense. ESPNU is the place for college hoops later tonight. First at 9 Eastern time. It's Andrew Wiggins in Kansas taking on TCU. And then at 11, San Diego State, top 10 team against Utah State. A doubleheader of hoops on ESPNU.
Watch Joel Embiid, people. He'll be the first player in the draft. As far as I'm concerned, if he decides to come out, he may not come out. He may stay and really develop a little bit more, but he will be the first player.
What is he, only in his 3rd year playing basketball? Remarkable. LeVert, strong move, can't finish. Morgan falling away, can't finish. Here come the Spartans.
Spartans got numbers. Michigan, good job defensively getting back in transition. John Beilein's clubs coached in every phase of the game.
Harris.
Are you serious? How good is he, Dan? How good is he, Dan Shulman? Come on now. The kid has done it all. He's defended. He's shot the ball well. He has absolutely been sensational.
I don't know if there's another team in the country that has 3 players as good, when healthy, obviously, as Appling, Payne, and Harris. 3 outstanding players.
Well, I've always said, and I really believe this, if you talk about a national championship contending team, you better have 3 big-time players.
They got them.
And they got the 3. They got them down in Arizona as well.
They've got outstanding talent there as well.
And Syracuse, when you talk about Fair, Grant, and Ennis. So you got to have 3 guys, man, that are a step above. And then you put on all the role players and the blenders. Doesn't look right there. I love that kid. What he did at my gala last year, you were there, was tremendous. Lacey Holsworth, by the way, is watching the game. 6-year-old cancer survivor. Developed a real love affair with Mr. Payne.
It was great seeing him down there in Sarasota.
Oh, they were terrific. And I also want to send my sympathy out to a family who I did a video for earlier for their little son, Mason, battling cancer. Mason lost the battle. Let the spirit of his family. Unbelievable. I want to send my regards to them, the former family of Milan, Michigan. He just was put to rest. May he rest in peace. Beautiful youngster. I hate that disease. It tears my heart when I get calls of young kids losing their life to that unbelievable sickness.
And you see the coaches tonight, the Suits and Sneakers Initiative, an annual thing by college basketball coaches, raising money for cancer research and awareness as well. Walton, what a burst of speed, but what a recovery by Schilling. And then Morgan is fouled.
You know, Schilling did a great job, but I'm telling people up in Ann Arbor, Walton's going to be a very good player.
Yes.
You watch he and you watch Irvin as they develop. I think a great example for both those guys are LeVert and Stauskas. What a difference a year makes.
Morgan at the line now for Michigan. Grad student, 6'8", out of Detroit. This is his 124th game, his 104th start. He and Horford, mostly Morgan, have a lot of experience. After that, LeVert's a sophomore, Albrecht's a sophomore, Stauskas is a sophomore, Robinson is a sophomore, and Walton's a freshman. They're a pretty young group.
Morgan was a defensive player in terms of all Big Ten defense. A couple of years ago, I mean, he's a kid that started, played a lot of basketball, as you said. Had those injuries last year that really hurt him.
Albrecht in for Walton. Michigan is hanging around. Every time Michigan State looks like they're about to pull away, the Wolverines bounce back a little bit and they're back in four. Two bigs in the game now for Michigan State, Kaminsky and Schilling. Appling splits the double team. Tip back up, no good. But Michigan State with the offensive rebound.
Keeping the ball alive. Notice how they catch it. They fake. They go to that shot fake. Nobody does that better than the kid in Louisville, Hancock.
Good D by Michigan on the ball screen defense. Valentine misses the three. Albrecht down with a rebound. We're 8 minutes into the second half in a 4-point game.
They're going to look for Albrecht shooting a three. He's taking it. It's a walk. John Beilein not happy.
No, didn't like that call. Irvin called for the travel.
Can't believe that call. Look at John. He's normally very calm on that sideline. What a brilliant coach this guy is. Erie Community College, he's been all over.
Yep.
You talked about it earlier.
At all levels of basketball, he's won over 600 games. Never was an assistant coach, right to head coaching out of the chute.
There's no screens.
Valentine open for a moment, launches, hits.
Comes off the second screen. They laid the first screen and get over it. The second one there, and Valentine converts. His father was a very good player.
He's a talented player himself.
He's got a great skill in passing the ball.
Valentine on Stauskas right now.
That's an interesting matchup right there.
Harris not in the game at the moment for Michigan State. Albrecht with a reverse, left it a little short.
Costello's been an unsung hero here today.
Yeah.
His rebound and his inside play, his toughness. People don't realize how important it is to have those screens.
Patience here by the Spartans.
And they got the catalyst right there with the ball in his hands. There's a great understanding of how to play after 4 years now here.
Well, Costello must have sent 200 ball screens in this game already. Tip back up by Ellis, kept alive by Costello. They've got it.
What a terrific job for the offensive rebound. A trademark of Tom Izzo throughout his career as a coach. They work on rebounding and rebounding. They have like football pads out when they rebound in their drills. Crowd appreciates it.
Appling. Valentine, 10 to shoot.
Always looking for a teammate for a better shot. Oh.
And it will be Michigan ball when we come back. Two unbeaten teams in the Big Ten. The Spartans and the Wolverines in a battle for first place. This brought to you by new Cheez-It Grooves.
There he is right there with the deflection, the steal, and then the converts, in addition to his 20 points. Look at the defensive effort right here in Stauskas. There he is right now, over that screen. Did a great job. Now he's going to get another screen. He fights over the top of the screen. Rather than go third or fourth man, makes him take a tough shot. He did a great job defensively, man. Even John Beilein told Shannon, he said, hey, what a job he's doing. We got to get him out of the game. He said he's so good defensively.
Stauskas shooting the ball, though, just not getting as many shots because of the defense of Harris. Back to Shannon.
Yeah, Dan Dick, I spoke with Gary Harris yesterday, and I asked him where he feels like he's improved the most this season. And I guess you wouldn't be surprised to hear this, but he said his toughness. He said last year when he had that shoulder injury, he wasn't tough enough, and this year he's got a lot more confidence, not only defensively, but getting inside, rebounding, and driving to the basket.
Tell you one thing, he's got toughness, and he's got ability, he's got talent, he's got the TTs, toughness and talent.
There's LeVert with Valentine on. Harris remains on Stauskas. And LeVert is fouled as the shot clock was running down and he was driving. And there have been a number of possessions tonight, Dick, where Michigan hasn't had anything, and near the end of the clock they just have to start improvising. That's a credit to the Michigan State defense.
Well, the bottom line is nobody just gets open looks. You just don't come down the floor and get an open look.
Number 3 on Valentine as he goes to the bench.
You got to go to your third and fourth options many times. And that shot clock winding down. That's great team defense. Both these clubs get after it.
Ellis back in for Valentine. Robinson thinking about the 3.
You know, teams are shooting 45% against Michigan in the Big Ten. And it doesn't show, but that really is misleading in a way because they are playing better defense. Oh, man, he can stick it. Yeah. He can flat out stick it.
His 4th 3 of the game, 16 points now for Stauskas.
He just feels it's going to go in when he lets it go. You can see it. He's got that swag.
Forcing it up. Appling actually might have tried to make a pass to Costello. Albrecht had it. He's trying to call a timeout. He was signaling for a timeout, but I don't think they gave it to him. I think they called it a held ball, and it'll be Michigan State ball.
Stauskas said, we were calling timeout.
Wow.
We were calling timeout.
I don't know if John Beilein could see it, but it was right in front of us. We had the benefit of the doubt that when Albrecht hit the ground.
Watch him right now. I'm trying to get a tape. Look, I got a tape. There's that alternate possession. Don't get me going on that.
I won't get you going on that.
Get it out of the game. Get it out of here.
Russell Bird back into the game for Michigan State.
Role players. They want guys like that. Give us good quality minutes. Just don't hurt us.
9 Spartans scored in the first half, including Bird.
Matchup right now, Albrecht on Appling. Looking for the screen. There's a switch.
There's Ellis with the drive. Gets free and banks it home.
That's a big plus for that. Ellis with a good move to the goal. Played out in Chicago, LaSalle High School. Actually played at Shillingham High School.
The lead back to 5.
See, when you get your guys off the bench contributing like that, what a positive. He gets the bench to stand up.
Stauskas the kick. Albrecht the 3.
And he got fouled. He got fouled. No doubt about it.
Wow.
That would have been 4 points. That maybe he was in.
Appling, the senior, commits the foul.
Look at Tom. Look at Tom. Look at the pose. Arms crossed. I mean, he tried to make a good defensive play, and he accidentally bumped it.
And 3 freebies coming for Albrecht.
What intensity, what a rivalry. 2 great schools get after it. Academically, both great places. Athletically, such tradition, such history. Michigan won that title in '89. When Steve Fisher took over in the house today.
Bill Frieder's here, huh?
Yeah, my buddy Bill Frieder's working on radio. I always thought he got a raw deal there.
2 out of 3 for Albrecht. Walton back into the game for him.
That's certainly, look at the job Steve Fisher's doing at San Diego State.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's one of my bucket lists, man. I want to go down there. I want to go down there for a game. I also want to go down there for the weather.
Sarasota's not so bad, my man.
No, we left the other day with 65.
Hey, it's a balmy, 9 here in Lansing, East Lansing right now? Yep. Here's Harris.
Finally missed one. It was wide open.
Was saved by LeVert into the hands of Robinson. Here comes Michigan.
Not getting anything on the inside. Nothing out of the post.
Robinson the drive. Nowhere to go.
Good defensive play right there on Robinson, who got into an attack mode. Calm down, guys. Calm down. Don't root a good thing. Don't need it all. Don't need the mouths running. Just play basketball.
The officials get in between them before it escalates any further. This rivalry is back in full bloom.
Teams around the country, Wichita State still unbeaten, a 5-point lead over Drake. Doug McDermott, 6 points. In Creighton now leading Georgetown by 7.
All right, Chris, thank you. We could be headed for that exciting a finish here with the Breslin Center tonight. As we have mentioned often, it's been an intense game, and emotions boiled over a little bit. Russell Bird with the block there on Glenn Robinson, and Bird whooping a little bit at Robinson, who got up, didn't say a whole lot, but then Morgan got in there, Costello, Appling. The end result, a technical foul on Jordan Morgan of Michigan, a technical foul on Keith Appling of Michigan State. Those count as personals. For Morgan, it's his 4th. For Appling, it's his 3rd.
Yeah, that could be significant. The fact that here it is now, Appling gets 3 and Morgan gets 4. All about whooping. There'll be no shooting free throws here.
No. It's point of interruption. It was Michigan ball. Before all of that started, it's Michigan ball now with 15 on the shot clock.
You know, Bird really made a great defensive play, but should have just, you know, that was it.
Yeah, you know, he's a guy who, as we mentioned, a ton of injuries, has not been able to play a whole lot. Getting a chance tonight because of the injury to Brandon Dawson, and he's been emotional the entire night. On the one hand, you can't blame him at all. He's getting a chance to play, and he's playing well, but he let it get the best of him to a certain extent in that skirmish.
Yeah, he's done a real good job defensively the minutes he's played.
LeVert from deep in the corner with a 3, and Michigan has tied the game.
Well, there's Michigan again, utilizing the 3 ball. It's been such a factor for them here tonight.
Costello into Harris, down in the post, and Harris is fouled.
Showing his versatility. We've watched this kid now. He inverted right there. Went from the perimeter down to the box inside. It was a nice little bounce pass to get him the ball inside. But there's LeVert. LeVert with the trifecta right in front of the Michigan bench.
Well, good job by Horford. Not only the pass, but also screening off a defender.
And there's Harris working his magic to go to the free throw line.
Harris now with 67 points in his last 3 games. And counting. Make it 68.
Right there showing that versatility. I love guys that you can invert like he can, go down to the box, can play on the perimeter, can make threes. So many guys are one-dimensional. He's multi-dimensional. That's been an area that's hurt him a little here tonight. It's his 3rd miss. Great spacing by Michigan. 15 to 17 feet apart, up the screens. Tough to give a lot of help.
LeVert is fouled by Ellis. The crowd didn't like that at all. Michigan State is already over the limit.
See, really, the way they space, you really are forced to play good defense on your guy because you can't get a whole lot of help. You get help, people are wide open.
LeVert to the free throw line. He shoots 79% on the season. Michigan as a team is over 74%.
And that could be a major, major play coming down the last 7 minutes of this game.
Missed the front end, but they got it back, and a chippy for Horford.
That's really a no-no. You got to block out on that lane.
First lead, Dick, for Michigan since it was 16-14, way back early in this game.
And one of the reasons they're up there, they made those threes, big threes.
Bird. In and out, LeVert the rebound.
Right now, Michigan a little Uncle Mo on their side. LeVert's really played well. Attacking the basket. There he is with the kick out.
Robinson's open. Tipped, but it's Michigan State ball.
Robinson had a good look because of the penetration right there by LeVert.
These two programs will meet again in Ann Arbor. That comes February the 23rd.
Well, last year was Blowout City over here. That was a one-point payback down there in Ann Arbor on a steal by Burke at the end of the game.
Taking it away from Appling.
Yeah, Appling said he had a sour taste in his mouth.
Ellis knocks it down.
How big has he been? De La Salle High School, drive to the goal, makes the big 3. A kid you wouldn't even figure in the game coming here today.
I'm not sure if Tom Izzo's ever had this combination once all season.
Steal. Great strip right there.
And a foul on Stauskas.
I'm going to tell you, my friend, Harris can play for me any day of the week. Anytime.
He picked up the assist on that Ellis three.
There's Ellis with the three. Look at that bench. Look at that bench. Look at the joy, the jubilation. Playing for that name in the front. State.
John Beilein wants a timeout.
Exactly what we thought it would be, partner. Exactly what we thought it would be. A lot of intensity, a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, a lot of pride.
DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And in part by Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Vehicles. Certified affordable luxury.
I tell you, we got a lively crowd here in East Lansing, Michigan tonight for a terrific game along with Dick Vitale, Shannon Spake, I'm Dan Schulman. Saturday primetime, and a 2-point lead for the Spartans over the Wolverines as we say hello again to Shannon.
Well, Dan, the focus in Coach Izzo's huddle just now is defensively. He said, we're chasing the guys too far out half court. We're leaving lanes open. We just have to play a little bit cleaner.
Dick, give me a key for each team in the last 6 minutes.
Well, I think the key right now is you want to get Harris some looks there. Get him. Key players have to shoot the ball. And I like when you look at Michigan, LeVert and his penetration, and maybe get Stauskas free. And I also think very important is right now you better block out little things. Block out. Convert on the free throw line. You miss a free throw, you can't let them sneak in right there and get an offensive rebound for a layup. Those things come back to haunt you. Free throw line really hurting him.
That's his 4th miss tonight.
Yep. Look at those numbers right there. Unbelievable.
Unbelievably efficient other than at the free throw line here tonight. And as much as he's meant to his team on offense, he's meant just as much to his team on defense.
Absolutely. In fact, John Beilein talked about it at halftime with Shannon about his defense. Now you got to give help to one another.
They're slapping the floor again, Dick. They are into the defensive intensity tonight.
Got to keep your guy in front of you and got to block out. Michigan right now wants to make sure good shots. This guy has been really impressive. LeVert.
Walton elevates, and it goes.
Told you that kid is going to be a very good player. Walton from out of Detroit, one of the top high school players in the state last year.
Michigan is 9 of 16 shooting the three tonight.
Well, the three-point shot we've said so many times has revolutionized the game.
Harris is open. And Horford down with the rebound as the Wolverines look for the lead.
This Wolverine team is legitimate, man. You don't win 9 out of 10. You're only lost to the #1 team in the country. Arizona beat them in the last second up in Ann Arbor.
Michigan State's won 8 in a row.
And Arizona,
or Michigan rather's won 8 in a row. Michigan State's only lost once all season.
North Carolina, one of the big 3 wins they have. I mean, taking Arizona right to the buzzer. Arizona is superb.
Can they get Stauskas a clean look?
What a nice try.
Doesn't look like it. LeVert having to do a lot by himself because they can't get Stauskas open.
He had an open lane there and he slowed up. He slowed up. He had a chance there for a layup. Harris has done as good a job as possible on Stauskas. I mean, if you don't play him really tough, he's going to get his 20.
Appling driving on Horford. And are they going to count it? Yes, they're going to count it. A hand up through the bottom of the net, and that'll be a goaltend.
You know, Appling utilizes that left hand so well. Here we go, buddy. We're going to winning time now. We're going to the last 4 minutes. That's the left hand by Appling. There's the drive. There's the hand through the bottom. Mr. Robinson knows that's a no-no. Just gave him a deuce. This is crunch time now. The real people want to step up and want the ball.
LeVert's wanted the ball.
Yes, he has. Well, Harris is right in. So he's not letting Stauskas touch the ball.
He's in full denial mode right now as Bird is called for the foul.
He's saying play denial defense. I'm not letting him touch the rock.
And John Beilein, who just called a timeout, is as angry as I have ever seen him.
Don't want a tee here. Don't want a tee this time of the game. You know, uh-oh.
And there was no timeout. For some reason, we thought somebody called a timeout. They started rolling the benches out, the chairs out from the Michigan bench. but it doesn't come until under 4. There's 4:01 to go right now, and mistakenly there was a bit of a timeout there.
I want to commend the officials here. I'm going to tell you why. Some guys emotionally get so upset banging with a quick tape.
Yeah.
They know what's at stake here, and they did a good bit of officiating. I mean, let the kids win the game. You're not going to put on a tee at this time of the game. We got 4 minutes left.
That's Terry Weimer, who was in conversation there. Conversation might not be the right word with John Beilein. Robinson hits the first.
You can play with all the intensity, all the emotion. But many a times when you get down this stretch, right there at the charity stripe, determines whether you go to a winner's locker room or a loser's locker room.
Dick, we are tied again.
Why not, man? I got nowhere to go. Let's stay here all night. Lionel Richie, a little all night long, baby.
Under 4 to play.
See, right now, a lot of Harris and a lot of Appley.
The winner will emerge in first place in the Big Ten. They're both undefeated right now. Here comes Walton.
What a great change of direction.
Stauskas knocked out of bounds. Michigan ball when we come back. Stauskas looking for a foul call.
Terrific defense by Michigan State getting back because it looked like he had a layup. But what a change of direction by Walton.
Emotions running high. Tie game, 3:39 to go.
Stick around right after the game. X Games Aspen. It's women's snowboard super pipe final. Will Kelly Clark make it 4 straight gold medals? Find out immediately following the game.
A game that's got 3:39 to go. It has been everything we had hoped for and more. Michigan and Michigan State, the last two remaining unbeatens in the Big Ten play. Spartans 7-0, Wolverines 6-0, all tied up here at the Breslin.
You know, it's amazing in this league. In a matter of 2 weeks, you can get 2-3 losses with a flinch and dive. Right from here, they got to go play in Iowa. At Iowa, Michigan State on Tuesday night. Iowa had a big win in terms of a blowout today. Showed a little character coming back after the loss to Michigan.
There are the standings. Minnesota, Wisconsin, both at 4 and 3. Everybody looking up at Michigan State and Michigan right now.
I'll tell you one thing. In about 2 years, you watch Northwestern. Take it to the bank, I'm telling you. You watch Northwestern in about 2 years.
Chris Collins there, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Every possession is goal right now. There's more at stake than just right now the Big Ten. There's a lot of pride at stake here between these two schools. A lot of bragging rights.
Stauskas turning the corner. Too strong.
He did everything right but convert. He had the good angle.
Appling is open. Good defense by Horford.
He wanted to foul. They got numbers here. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. You knew that was coming, man. Lavert, a little hand five to his teammate. That's his fifth three.
Fifth three-pointer tonight for Nick Stauskas.
He's a flat-out shooter, man.
In 6 attempts.
Reminds me of the days covering Alford and Chris Mullin. I mean, guys, Reggie Miller. Guys that can flat-out shoot it.
Check out that YouTube video that he's got where he hits 46 in a row. Here's Costello. Not there. Tapped back out, and the Spartans will get a fresh possession.
I heard about that. 46 in a row. I don't care if you're doing it with nobody guard. It's unbelievable.
Appling rejected.
2 drives by Appling have been denied.
Walton. Counted and a foul.
Walton really coming alive. Got to get a lot of confidence here. And Michigan bench jubilant. Now watch Walton right here. That's a move to the goal. He gets bumped. Gets the good rotation. There's the little underspin.
Boy, for so long here in the second half, Michigan was playing catch-up. They were letting their emotions get the best of them just a little bit. You could see frustration every now and again. Give them a lot of credit. Here in a hostile environment, now an 8-0 run for Michigan.
You know, John Beilein told me before the game, said every arena we go to is going to be hostile. It's just a little couple notches higher over here, and we just got to play. Went down to Wisconsin, it's hostile. We got to play.
Tom Izzo will use a timeout.
How big is the three-point shot now? It's going to become big for Michigan State.
Well, here's how tough it is, Dick. Sorry, Dick, in the Big Ten, and here's what Michigan has been through in their last couple of games. They go up to the Kohl Center, one of the toughest places in America to win a game, and they lead with a 7-point win, a road win against a top 5 opponent. Stauskas having a big game. Then they come home, play a very good Iowa team on Tuesday, and pick up another win. Stauskas with a career-high tying 26, and now Michigan looking for its 3rd win in a row over a top 10 team.
That might be the first in the history of the school, I believe. Beating 3 top 10 teams in one season.
You know, they've already got 10 wins under John Beilein over top 10 teams. Most impressive, if they can get this one tonight, is 2 of the 3 will have come on the road.
Unbelievable. I mean, they got a veteran basketball team, some experience, and they got a bunch of kids that believe, and they got a coach that understands how to put a club together. They're right now playing against a team that's a little hurt, obviously, without Payne and Dawson. But hey, no excuses. That's way of life for the. And Thomas will be the first to tell you. You know, I'll salute them if they win. They got a great effort here out of Michigan State. This baby's not over. He's going to get some looks right here.
Let's see what the response is from the Spartans. They go to Harris. He can't finish. He's slow to get up. Also down behind the play is Levert. 2 injured players behind the play. Levert of Michigan, Harris of Michigan State. Both now back to their feet.
I'm going to tell you who's really played well here. And when we're not showing the box score, Walton has made some good plays. He's been a little bit of a difference maker.
Harris is the initial one injured, and then Levert looked like he was shaken up when Valentine collided with them. But they're both okay and staying in the game.
You know what's a tribute to the coach? When you see a team, I watched them earlier this year get beat by Iowa State. No shame losing down at Hilton, obviously a good Iowa State team. We watched them get beat by Duke. But you see this team, you can see them growing up. You see players getting better and better and better.
And a foul on Trice. It's double bonus.
As the season progresses, guys like Walton are getting better and better and better. And they've made the adjustment without McGarry now for 5 weeks with the 2 guys sharing the post, talking about Morgan and Horford.
Now, if you're liking this, you'll love Monday night. A big Monday doubleheader. It begins with Duke, a new ACC rivalry as they go to Pittsburgh, a very tough place to win. You know the Oakland Zoo is going to be out in full force. And then it's Bedlam, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Big Monday doubleheader presented by Verizon.
And that's always special, Oklahoma State. The kid that's really playing well for Pittsburgh is Robinson, the point guard. Distributing the ball, finding open people. Patterson's a star, Zana. That should be a great matchup.
Boy, big week for Duke. Monday night at Pitt, Saturday night at Syracuse.
Get a taste of the Big East. Here right now, how big is this possession? They need a score badly right here.
And they'll get it, courtesy of Costello.
They got to make something happen defensively now. Full court pressure. Michigan's got to make foul shots, and they'll go home with a win. That'll be a heck of a trip back to Ann Arbor. They're going to try to trap. They're going to try to trap. They got the loose ball.
They got a foul. Trice called for the foul.
Almost had that loose ball on the trap. Tom signaled from the sideline to get into a trap.
And that's it for Trice.
Let me tell you something, my friends. I am really impressed with Michigan State that they can be this tough without 2 guys who are not average players. Payne and Dawson are stars. They are star ability. I mean, you got Dawson leads them in rebound, better than 8 a game. You got Payne at 7 a game. You got 26 points. John Beilein said to us before the game, feels bad in a way that they're not at full strength. And I really believe he feels that way. You want to beat a team where they got all their pieces, but you'll take the win.
Yes.
You'll take the win.
All going well for the Spartans. Payne back maybe in a week or 2, they hope. Dawson will be at least 4 weeks. Ellis, floater, got it.
He's giving them some good minutes. Ellis is giving them some quality minutes.
And another timeout taken by Tom Izzo with the deficit down to 6.
2 possessions. They need a defensive stop, or they're going to get a little help. Free throw line and some misses.
Ellis has been forced into more minutes than he normally gets tonight. He's made the most of it. He's got 9 off the bench.
It's great to see kids who maybe were role players a year later become star players by really working and working and working. And that really is emblematic of the Michigan kids, Stauskas and Levert
Well, how much fun are we having here tonight? And we mentioned it a bit earlier. How much fun are we going to have 1 week from tonight? But we are up at the Carrier Dome. 36,000 people are going to be there clad in orange. Hall of Famers, Boeheim, Krzyzewski, two of the top freshmen in the country. Tyler Ennis, Jabari Parker, two of the top teams in the ACC, two of the top programs in America. Duke and Syracuse 1 week from tonight.
And those both guys got about 1,900 wins between them. It's unbelievable. I can't wait, man. And you and I are going to have pretty good seats. We're going to have pretty good seats. And we're going to get some money when we leave. Unbelievable. So Jim Boeheim, I said it once, I'm going to say it again. 38 years, deserves a statue while he's here. People say, well, oh, no statue while you're living. Are you kidding me? Go to Chicago, take a look at Mr. Jordan. Go to Detroit, Comerica, look at Al Kedline.
More pressure.
Great effort defensively. Great effort. Michigan State basketball. No quitting those kids. They reflect that Hall of Famer coach on the sideline. And he is going to be a Hall of Famer. I think 3 guys are destined for the Hall of Fame. Look at them hustle. Both guys. Self, Donovan, and Izzo are locks.
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 Layups.
Layups. Cupcake City.
Michigan State ball.
Get Harris free. Get Harris free. Lay a big screen on Harris. LeVert's checking him down.
Kaminsky down to Valentine.
Kaminsky would have been a good guy to get a look. He's due to hit one. Tough to foul this guy.
Yep.
He'll make foul shots. Got a trap right there.
And a timeout taken by Michigan. Well, a fired up crowd here tonight at the Breslin Center.
Well, we've been fired up.
And why not? This game has lived up to the advanced billing. They'll get to play again 4 weeks from now in Ann Arbor. And Michigan, they have withstood the loss of McGarry. They know what they are now. They've adjusted to that. Michigan State still adjusting to their losses, right?
Well, I'll tell you this. If they win this game, that's 10 out of 11. We talked about it earlier. The only blemish in those 11 games is that the #1 team in the country who's superb, Sean Miller's club, and they had to beat them in the last minute. Michigan was in command of that game.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I mean, those Arizona kids are very gutty, very tenacious, came and won that game. This is a very good basketball team, and so is that team. These are true potential Final Four teams.
X Games now underway on ESPN News. You look at Michigan, national runner-up a year ago. They lose Player of the Year, Trey Burke. They lose first-round pick, Tim Hardaway. They lose Mitch McGarry, one of the outstanding players in the tournament last year. But everybody they brought back is significantly better than they were a year ago. You look at Stauskas and how much better he is. You look at LeVert. You look at Walton getting better over the course of his freshman season. They have improved over the summer, and they have improved within the context of this season as well.
That's a tribute to coaching, but a school like Michigan, to me, should attract blue-chip players. Has a tremendous package. Ann Arbor's a great city, great academics there. I mean, great tradition.
Michigan State's going to try to lengthen this game as much as they can. And they'll put Walton on the line. The freshman, a 69% free throw shooter on the season. And Dick, they've now made 8 in a row.
Tell you one thing, he's made some big plays, Walton. He made a change of direction earlier to create an opportunity for him to get to the rim.
And Michigan doesn't have a big guy on the floor. They've got Walton with Albrecht, Stauskas, LeVert, and Robinson. None of their true bigs are in the game. They want ball handling, free throw shooting. Harris creates a little space, knocks it down. Man, is he good.
He is absolutely mid-range jumpers. He can post, shoot the three, defend. What can he do? I mean, I can't emphasize enough how when you look at that club, you see 2 guys on that sideline standing there, Payne and Dawson, what they mean to a team. And this is not football where you got 22 players, 11 offense, 11 defense.
Yep.
Basketball, 5 players, 1 guy could affect so much. I mean, 2 out of 5, you're talking 40%.
Yeah.
Like my math,
That's
40%.
pretty good. That's pretty, without even taking your socks and shoes off.
Hey, I see your son Ben having a great time in his zone. He is having a terrific time.
I don't know if that's good parenting to put a 13-year-old in the zone, but I'm sure there are going to be some good stories in the car after.
You'll have a great time, man. Maybe you'll go to school here.
You know, you talk about pain. Plantar fasciitis, compensated for it a bit. Now it's a sprained foot, and again, that's one of those It's one of those injuries, Dick, could be a few days. You're never quite sure how long something like that can last.
You know, winning the Big Ten is beautiful. Winning this matchup is beautiful. But it's all about March Madness. That is the one that counts. And the good news for them, as opposed to Michigan, doesn't look like McGarry will be back. Right. The bottom line is, the word is those two guys will be back, and that is a major, major plus.
And the foul will send Robinson to the line. Well, Mitch McGarry is out indefinitely after back surgery, but he's still helping out in the huddle with the always inspirational win the game sign that he's holding. That's solid advice. Solid advice.
Yeah, win the game.
That's great.
They're a little sad right now down at Rick's. I know Rick's a jumping joint here, ready to celebrate. But you know what? They got a lot to be proud of. I mean, the team's got, if they lose this game, 2 L's. 2 L's. And playing hurt. I mean, come on now. I think there's some positives. Positive, Ellis, Costello. I mean, they got Kaminsky going with his three-point shooting.
Yeah. They're a deep team.
And they're going to be deeper when they get those 2 studs back.
Morgan back in on defense as Albrecht sits down.
Don't forget, people, 6:30, Duke and Syracuse.
Appling is bumped and will shoot a couple.
Yeah, you don't want to foul there. Stop the clock. Put him on a free throw line.
Morgan has fouled out of the game. And he's feeling, obviously, that he went straight up and down and didn't initiate the contact.
Has a degree already in mechanical engineering, master's program.
You know what, Horford and Morgan, they know what they are. They give Michigan what they need. They're pretty reliable, dependable guys.
Well, give them 15, 10, and 5. Yeah. That's not too bad. Not too shabby. Surprising today, the one surprise, Harris, when you're looking for a little mini something, they say, well, gee, could have done this a little better. The free throw line. He's an 83% free throw shooter, and I believe he missed 4 or 5.
Appling misses the second. Michigan ball and a foul. All the Wolverines have to do is make a reasonable number of their free throws, and they're going to get out of here with a win. As we check the upcoming schedule for them, home to Purdue, then they go down to Bloomington, home to Nebraska, and then a tough week going to Iowa and going to Ohio State, both games here on ESPN.
Tell you one thing, they had a tough game with Nebraska. They pulled it out. I watched the game of Nebraska and Ohio State. Oscar's Pizza went nuts that night because Creighton had one big as well, beat Villanova. State of Nebraska was celebrating.
Even after that, after the Iowa-Ohio State road trip, they come back home and play Wisconsin and Michigan State. What a 4-game stretch.
Wow. Wow. I mean, you could easily lose 4 games now. It's incredible.
Ellis. Big night for Ellis.
He has really been a positive force. He's really helped them big time here today.
But it's still 6. And Robinson heading to the line as he's fouled by Valentine. Meanwhile, for the Spartans, you mentioned it, they're going to Iowa Tuesday night. Then they'll step out of conference and play Georgetown and Penn State, up to Wisconsin, home to Northwestern. And after that, they've still got road games at Purdue, Michigan, and Ohio State before the end of the season.
Boy, Georgetown in a real struggle. Just lost Joshua Smith.
It's academics.
Academics.
Yeah. And Valentine is fouled out of the game.
How tough is the Big Ten? All you got to do is look at this point. Wisconsin, Ohio State about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, top 5 in the country, undefeated. In a matter of 2 weeks, they got like 6, 7 losses between them.
How many teams in the Big Ten, in your opinion, are Final Four contenders?
Wow.
Could get to the Final Four.
Well, you mean you put me on the spot here right now, but I have to look at right there. I would say, obviously, you got these 2 teams. I think that Ohio State is a capable club. I mean, the game will be a defensive battle in the NCAA tournament. Wisconsin, those teams are dangerous, man. They are absolutely dangerous. Defense becomes so big when you get into the postseason, and that's really a strength. Ohio State's had a little tough time scoring. Athleticism hurts a little bit when you look at Wisconsin, but they certainly got a balanced team and a well-coached team.
Harris forces it up and hits it, and it's a three.
He forces it, man.
Wow.
He can force it anytime he wants for me.
He's at 27 points tonight for Gary Harris.
They got to come up with a defensive stop right here. He did this right on his own, man. He just stuck that baby down with defense right in his face. Great rotation.
That is a new career high now for the sophomore, Gary Harris with 27. Another reminder, the X Games now underway on ESPN News.
They got to come up with a defensive stop right here. If they don't make a steal, they got to foul immediately and pray and hope. Some missed free throws. Michigan's done a great job on the free throw line down the stretch.
Just the one recent miss by Robinson. Otherwise, they've made 13 of the last 14.
That's pretty good. That's not bad mathematically, is it?
Just as excited for the game 1 week from tonight up at the Carrier Dome. They are camping out. No, it's not Krzyzewskiville. It's apparently now Boeheimburg up in the balmy January up in Syracuse. They're intense, trying to stay warm any way they can to be one of the 36,000 people to join game day. And the Blue Devils and the Orange in as heavily hyped a matchup as there has been this entire season.
Well, you got two Hall of Famers. You got a great diaper dandy on one side, another super diaper dandy on the other side. Ennis has been absolutely sensational. We know what Parker can do. He had like 13 rebounds today. He's become much more aggressive. I had them against Miami. I mean, they really played well defensively. Suleiman is contributing.
Yeah, he's back, huh? He's playing well now.
Rotation.
4-point lead, Michigan. Michigan ball. Michigan with the arrow. They get it into Walton. Oh, and nearly stolen, but first a foul is called.
He was anticipating the foul there and called that almost ahead of time.
So more free throws. Walton will get a pair.
Wow, Appley almost had a steal right there. Almost had that steal. Danny Schulman, look at this right here. They call the foul.
That was close.
It was close. Real close. Look to the favor. Look at this kid here today.
How about 9 for 9 from the free throw line?
That's what I'm telling you. He's been a difference maker. He and his diaper dandy's been a difference maker. Sean White was one of the real blue chip players coming out of the city of Detroit. Mick McCabe wrote about him a lot. Does that Detroit Free Press. He's finally missed one.
5-point game, 14 seconds. Appley. And he will shoot a couple.
Smart play right there, right? You got to make it a two-possession game. Got to convert these two, and then you got to think three. If you get the ball back and have an opportunity if they don't score.
Appling on the season, 72% from the line.
Tremendous venue here. Just like Gamble. I love Gamble Pavilion as well down there in Connecticut. I play all my games if I coach down in Connecticut right there.
We're off to a pretty good start here. Our first two game day games at
Yeah.
Gamble and here,
A lot of fun.
and here this week. Two great environments. Three-point game.
But the bottom line is now you got to come up with a steal. You got to hope for a missed free throw. Look at his zone. They're rocking, man. They're face guarding right here. See the backs to the ball? They're trying to face guard, trying to get that lob over the top and steal it. Oh, nice entry right there.
And precious seconds ticking off the clock.
Oh, you got to foul right away. Great job on Michigan.
Wow.
Great job on Michigan. Spreading the court, getting good spacing, and getting seconds off that clock.
Foul on Dan Chapman, who's played only 9 minutes all season, but they had him in there to commit a foul so they wouldn't lose somebody else. He'll come back out as they get the ball back.
It's game time if he scores here. It's game time.
Ooh, used it all, but got it.
You got to scoop, my friend, if they can win this game. You got to scoop, as Howard Cosell would say.
Officials asking the Michigan bench to sit back down.
There'll be a little jubilation in Ann Arbor right now. All the clubs down there, they're getting ready to rock and roll.
2 huge free throws for LeVert to salt it away.
Just stand there. Let's just stand there, don't do a thing. Let him just dribble the ball up the court. With pressure, token pressure.
Appling misses the 3, and the Michigan Wolverines have another win over a top 10 team, their 3rd in a week. They've won 9 in a row overall, and they are in first place in the Big Ten with a 7-0 record in the conference. What a game tonight in the Breslin Center. X Games Aspen starts right now. For Shannon Spake, Dick Vitale, and our ESPN crew, I'm Dan Shulman saying thanks for watching, and so long from East Lansing.